She came only after dark, her beauty unmatched, her voice like the night wind. But when the first light of dawn touched her skin, her secret would crawl out. A forbidden love. A midnight bride. And a secret that could turn love into terror. The people of Umuaka village said the forest had eyes. That when the moon rose full and round, things unseen crept from its shadows, spirits, lovers, snakes, and sometimes all three. Obinna didn't believe in such tales. He was a hunter, a man of the earth and sweat, not superstition. But that changed the night he met her. It was during the moon festival, when the village drums called to the ancestors. Obinna had gone deep into the forest, chasing a wounded antelope. The air was thick with mist, and the moon silvered the leaves like ghost fire. Then, from behind the tall iroko tree, she stepped out. A woman in a wrapper of shimmering white, her skin glowing faintly like river light. Her eyes were deep pools, calm but endless. "Why do you hunt on a sacred night?" she asked, her voice soft as a flute. Obinna stammered, I did not mean to offend." She smiled. "Then perhaps you can make peace by walking with me." He followed her without knowing why. She spoke little, only asked about his dreams, his family, his heart. Every word felt like a song that wrapped around his chest. When the village cocks crowed in the distance, she stopped suddenly. "I must go," she whispered. "But if you truly wish to see me again, come to the old river at midnight." Alone. Before he could speak, she vanished, as if the mist swallowed her whole. Only a faint trail of scales glistened in the moonlight where she'd stood. The next night, Obinna went to the river. And she was there, waiting, smiling, glowing like she belonged to the night itself. Night after night, they met. He fell in love with her laughter, her grace, her mystery. But she would always disappear before the first rooster crowed. When Obinna asked her name, she said, "Call me Nwanyanwu, the woman of the moon." Weeks passed, and he could no longer bear her vanishing. One night, he begged, "Be my wife." She hesitated. "If you take me as your bride, you must never seek to see me by daylight. Promise me, Obinna." He swore it. And so, Nwanyanwu became his midnight bride. But soon the whispers began. The neighbors said Obinna's hut glowed with strange light at night, that hissing sounds came from within. And one evening, his friend Chike whispered, "My brother, your wife, she walks with no shadow." Obinna laughed, but deep down, fear coiled in his heart like a serpent waiting for dawn. In Umuaka, dawn was a blessing. Roosters crowed, palm wine tappers sang, and mothers lit fires that scented the morning with yam on smoke. But in Obinna's compound, dawn was forbidden. Every night, his bride, Nwanyanwu, arrived as the moon climbed. She moved like a whisper, her eyes glimmering in the dark. They laughed, they loved, they shared stories that seemed older than time. But when the first faint gold of sunrise crept across the hills, she would grow anxious. "Obinna," she would plead softly, "close your eyes. Don't let the light find me." And before he could even protest, she would vanish, gone like a dream evaporating with morning heat. At first, Obinna found it mysterious, even beautiful. But soon, curiosity began to gnaw at him like a termite in dry wood. One night, as she lay beside him, her head resting on his chest, he asked gently, "My moonlight, why do you fear the dawn?" Her body tensed. "Because the sun burns away truth." He frowned. "Then tell me the truth, and let the sun come as it pleases." But she only smiled, a sad, faraway smile, and whispered, "Some truths are not meant for mortals to hold." That night, as she slept, he reached out and brushed his hand across her shoulder. Her skin was cool, not the coolness of night, but the sleek, smooth chill of something other. His fingers paused, and for a heartbeat, he felt scales. He jerked back, heart hammering. When he looked again, her skin was flawless, soft, human. He told himself it was imagination, the tricks of moonlight. But then came the villagers' whispers. Children said they saw a woman bathing naked in the river at midnight, her reflection rippling not like flesh but like silver scales. The old women murmured prayers when Obinna passed, clutching charms of bitter kola and alligator pepper. Even Chike, his closest friend, spoke in warning, "My brother, there are women of water and serpent blood. They wear beauty like a wrapper, but their true form lies beneath." Obinna tried to laugh it off. But each night, as Nwanyanwu's touch filled his dreams, fear coiled tighter in his heart. One night, as she kissed him farewell before dawn, he caught sight of something glinting at her ankle, a small, golden bracelet shaped like a serpent biting its tail. "Where did you get that?" he asked. Her eyes went wide, too wide. "Never touch it," she whispered, her voice suddenly sharp. "It binds me." Before he could speak again, she melted into mist. And in the silence that followed, the only sound was the faint hiss of the wind. The moon festival had ended, but the forest had not slept since. The night winds carried whispers of a hunter who lay with a spirit wife. Obinna's father, a stern old man with eyes like river stones, summoned him. "My son," he said, "I have heard things that chill the bones. Tell me truthfully, who is this woman you have taken?" Obinna bowed his head. "She is my wife." "Your wife," the old man echoed. "And yet no one has seen her face by daylight. Are you now ashamed of what you married?" Obinna's silence was answer enough. That evening, the village drums began to sound, not for celebration, but for omen. The chief priest, Iznokoma, walked through the square, his staff rattling with cowries. He called to the people. "The river spirits stir. A mortal has stolen what belongs to the deep." Mothers gasped. Children clutched their wrappers. The priest's eyes glowed white as he spoke again. "She wears a woman's skin, but beneath it lies the heart of Nwanyanwu, the serpent queen of the moon's water." Obinna's heart pounded. He wanted to shout it down, to laugh, to deny. But when he returned home that night, the air in his hut was heavy, too still. He lifted the mat where Nwanyanwu usually lay, and froze. There, coiled neatly like an offering, was a long, translucent snakeskin. It shimmered faintly, glowing as if with trapped moonlight. He stumbled back, trembling. "No, no." Just then, a shadow darkened the doorway. Nwanyanwu stood there, her eyes unreadable. "You searched where you should not," she said softly. "Tell me the truth," he cried. "What are you?" Her lips parted, but no words came. Only a faint hiss escaped, as though another voice lived beneath her own. She turned and vanished into the forest, leaving behind the faint smell of wet earth and something far older than man. That night, Obinna dreamt of a river that glowed like liquid glass, and in its depths, a woman with a serpent's body wept his name. When he awoke, he found a trail of silver scales leading from his door to the forest edge, and he knew the truth could no longer stay buried beneath moonlight. For 3 nights, Obinna did not sleep. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw her, Nwanyanwu, half woman, half serpent, her face both beautiful and broken. Her voice echoed in his dreams, "You search where you should not." He could not rest until he knew the truth. So before the next moon rose, Obinna went to the river, the one the villagers called Ogwogu Nonyo, the river of women. No man went there willingly, for they said it was where the serpent queens sang their lovers to death. The air was heavy with mist and whispering reeds. Crickets fell silent as he stepped closer. "Spirit of the deep," he called, his voice shaking, "show me truth." The river rippled, once, twice, and then parted like a mouth opening. From the water rose an old woman, blindfolded with a strip of palm frond. Her skin shimmered like fish scales, and her voice sounded like rain on leaves. "Obinna, son of Nadizi," she said, though he had not given his name. "You come seeking truth, but truth cuts deeper than any blade. Tell me," he begged. Who is the woman I married? The oracle lifted a calabash from the water. Inside floated a single silver scale, gleaming faintly. She is Nwanyanwu, daughter of Iknoni, the serpent goddess of the moon's river. She took your form because she loved what was forbidden. Obinna's breath caught. Then she is cursed. The oracle nodded. Her curse is love itself. To remain in the world of men, she must never be seen by daylight. The first man who sees her true skin by the sun's light will break her bond, and she will return to the waters forever. He fell to his knees. How do I save her? The oracle's blind eyes turned toward him. When the 13th moon rises, you must find her before dawn and look upon her true form with love, not fear. Only then may her curse be undone. But beware. If you look with doubt in your heart, her beauty will turn to terror, and the river will claim you both. The waters closed over her, leaving silence. Obinna stared into the dark river until he saw his reflection ripple, and for a moment, it was not his own face, but a serpent's golden eyes staring back. He whispered, trembling, I will find you, my love. Even if it means facing the gods themselves. The days crawled by like wounded lizards. Obinna no longer joined the hunters or the village feast. His mind was a storm of fear and longing. Each night, Nwanyanwu came to him as she always had, glowing faintly, her laughter like falling water. But now, when he looked into her eyes, he saw sorrow beneath their beauty. The 13th moon is near, she said one night, tracing his cheek with her cool fingers. When it rises full, do not look for me. Promise me this, Obinna. He swallowed hard. And if I disobey? Then love will die before dawn. She vanished in a breath of mist, leaving him alone with his promise, and his breaking heart. As the 13th moon drew near, the sky itself seemed to hold its breath. The air was thick, and even the crickets grew silent. Obinna sat in the dark, staring at the serpent-shaped bracelet she had forbidden him to touch. It glowed faintly under the moonlight. The oracle's words echoed in his mind, look upon her true form with love, not fear. That night, he made his choice. He would see her truth, no matter the cost. When midnight came, Nwanyanwu appeared, more radiant than ever. Her smile trembled. You are quiet tonight. I'm only watching you, he whispered. She laughed softly and lay beside him. But as she drifted into sleep, her body began to glow, faintly at first, then brighter, as if the moon itself flowed through her veins. Obinna held his breath and pretended to sleep. The glow spread. Her skin shimmered, then began to shed. A silvery mist rose from her form, and beneath it, scales glimmered, not hideous, but breathtaking, like living jewels. Her hair turned to threads of gold, her eyes elongated, gleaming like twin suns beneath water. Obinna's heart pounded, part awe, part terror. He had never seen such beauty, nor such strangeness. Then her voice broke through the silence, soft, sorrowful. Why do you hide in the dark, my husband? He froze. She had not opened her eyes, yet she knew. The heart shook. The air filled with the scent of rain and scales. Obinna rose, trembling. Because I could not bear to lose you, he said. Nwanyanwu's eyes opened, glowing gold and green. Then you already have. Outside, thunder roared. The rooster crowed too early, and the first light of dawn began to touch the roof. She screamed, a sound that was not human. And the serpent bride's curse began to awaken. The first light of dawn touched the edge of the forest. A single beam slipped through the thatch roof and fell upon Nwanyanwu's skin. Obinna's breath caught. The glow around her flared, too bright, too alive. Her body twisted, her shadow vanished. The heart trembled. Pots rattled. Outside, the wind began to hiss through the palm trees like serpents whispering their queen's name. Obinna, she moaned, her voice now two voices at once, one human, one ancient and vast. He stumbled backward. Her body rose from the mat, suspended in air, her eyes now slits of molten gold. The bracelet on her ankle writhed like a living thing, and the symbol of the serpent biting its tail burned red hot. "Forgive me," he whispered, falling to his knees. "I only wanted to know you." She turned, her face shifting between the woman he loved and the serpent's terrible grace. "You promised," she hissed. "You swore never to see me in the sun's light." Her tears fell, not water, but shining drops that sizzled when they touched the earth. "Your eyes," she said, voice breaking, "have undone the only bond that held me here." The room filled with the smell of river mist and blood. Her skin began to ripple, her limbs merging, reforming. From her back sprouted long, glistening scales that shimmered in colors no human had ever seen. The goddess was awakening. Obinna crawled forward, crying, "Then let the gods take me too. I will not leave you, Nwanyanwu." She looked down at him, her serpent form coiling and uncoiling, her eyes softening for a moment. "You cannot follow me where I go." But the ground beneath them split open with the sound of thunder. Water burst from the earth, swirling around them in a furious spiral. From the storm of mist, a deep voice boomed. "The law of the spirits cannot be broken for mortal desire." Obinna clutched her hand, half human, half scale. "Then let me share her curse." The voice replied. "So be it, but love shall be your torment." The river exploded upward. The world went white. When the light cleared, Nwanyanwu was gone. Only her serpent bracelet lay in the mud, still warm, still breathing. Obinna knelt there in silence as dawn poured across the world. And from deep within the forest, a low hiss echoed, long, mournful, eternal. For days, Obinna wandered. The villagers found his hut half sunk in mud, the roof caved in as if a flood had passed through it. They whispered that he had called a goddess wrath. He no longer cared. He walked to the river each night, calling her name until his voice cracked. "Nwanyanwu, my moon, come back to me." But the only answer was the ripple of scales beneath the surface. One night, as the full moon rose, the river began to glow, faintly at first, then brighter than fire. The same blind oracle rose again from the depths. "You called upon the river's heart," she said. "And she heard you." "Where is she?" Obinna cried. "Take me to her." The oracle lifted her palm. In it, a single crystal scale pulsed like a living heart. "This is her uche, her spirit heart. When you broke your promise, it shattered. She cannot return unless this is restored to her. Then give it to me." She shook her head slowly. "You must go where no living man has gone, beneath the river, into the realm of the serpent mothers. If your love is pure, the waters will spare you. If not." Her words dissolved into the night air, leaving only the rush of current. Without hesitation, Obinna stepped into the river. The water closed over his head, cold, heavy, alive. He sank deeper, deeper, until light disappeared. Strange shapes moved around him, fish with human faces, spirits whispering through bubbles, the bones of forgotten lovers gleaming faintly in the dark. At last, he reached the underworld's gate, at a vast doorway of coral and bone, guarded by a serpent with eyes of fire. It spoke, "Why do you come, mortal?" "To give back what I broke," Obinna said, holding up the glowing scale. "To free her." The serpent studied him. "Would you give your life to heal hers?" "Yes." The gate opened. Inside, he found Nwanyanwu lying in a bed of water lilies, her form faintly human again but fading like mist. Her eyes opened weakly. "Obinna, why did you come? You cannot breathe here." He knelt beside her, chest tightening. "Because love brought me here, and love will bring you back." He pressed the crystal scale to her heart. It sank into her skin, glowing bright as a newborn star. The waters trembled. Her eyes turned clear, her form solid once more. But as she drew her first breath, Obinna drew his last. The goddess wept, holding him as bubbles rose like paws around them. Above the surface, the river shone silver under the moon, and then went still. The villagers buried an empty coffin. Nobody was ever found.